Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'm going to get you guys to help me just to let me know that you can actually see me and hear me. And if you can do a thumbs up, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you, thank you. So I just want to share to begin with. One, thank you so much for being here, especially it's the middle of winter in the Southern Hemisphere. It's really cold, it's dark. But I'm giving you a clue where I am. I'm on holidays. And you can see behind me, there's a Sphinx. I'm actually in Egypt. I arrived in Egypt today, lunchtime. And so I've been awake since 4 o'clock the day before and staying awake. It's now 11 o'clock at night just to make sure I can get this masterclass happening for you. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Now, whether you're attending live or whether you are watching the recording in the Facebook group or on YouTube. And because I'm doing it from my phone, I haven't got the normal music, I haven't got the normal picture that's there as well. But that picture, that meme will be there for you in the Facebook group once we finish. So I'm going to tell you what the theme is. I'm going to say it twice, and then I'm going to go into it. So people do more for you when you make them feel important. I'll say it again. People do more for you when you make them feel important. Now, this is really important. I'm going to talk about just general at home type situation in partnership. Now, whether it's de facto husband and wife, wife and wife, husband and husband, whatever the relationship is, just on a partnership at home. People do more for you when you make them feel important. And when we first start a relationship, it's like, oh my gosh, I just love my husband so much. And I feel so in love with him and I make him feel important because I say how I love what he does and whatever. But then, give it, say, 5 to 7 years down the track, and suddenly I don't make him feel important. And I also say, well, what's wrong with him? He's not putting the bin out. It's not my job to put the bin out. What happened? So in mystery school, it was always the focus, not just on us, but on others and making others feel great, because when we make others feel great, we actually understand it's us. And so people do more for you when you make them feel important. I make an effort. I've been with my husband 30 plus years, and I make an effort to make sure that he feels very important. And even right down to coming to Egypt for my holiday, which is extremely hot and fantastic. It's been about 49 degrees before I've got here. Today was only 45, but I love the heat. And before I left, I made him feel important, that I made sure on the Saturday morning before I left to go to the airport, the crock pot was on with some meat and vegetables in it. And so dinner was cooked for him. And it was a Saturday night. He could have cooked himself, but I wanted him to feel important. I made him feel important that I'd written out a list of all the things that need to be done whilst I was away. I made him feel important that he has my travel insurance cover, he has my flights. And can I ask all of you just to mute yourselves, because I can't do it at the moment, being on my phone. That would help me out fantastically too, please. So those little things, people do more for you when you make them feel more important. Well, what he did for me was he kept checking on his phone, on the app, the flight scanner. Oh, yeah, she's just arrived in Doha. Oh, yeah, she's just arrived in Egypt. Oh, yep, there's another message. And so every time I turned the internet on, there was another message. Some call it stalking. I call it love bombing. And so people do more for you when you make them feel important. Now let's bring it to children. No matter what age or stage they are, little teenagers, young adults, living at home, not living at home, people do more for you when you make them feel important. So I make a specific effort to make my sons feel important. Now, my oldest son is a gamer. He loves gaming. I don't understand it. And when he says, Mum, come and have a look at this game and starts to interpret, my brain goes, blah, 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 blah. But I don't do that in front of him. I purposely say, tell me what you like. Tell me what the theme is. And make him feel important for what he likes as a hobby. As for my youngest son, same thing. I make him feel important when he talks about all the car stuff that I don't understand. Tell me a bit about the car. Why did you do that? And how come you sold that bit? And what are you going to get for that part? And when that happens, they do heaps for me. Now, the doing part, we've got a WhatsApp family chat. So they've been checking in. How are you going, Mum? Have you arrived in Egypt? What's it like? Is it nice and hot? The doing part isn't just doing, it's the connecting as well. So whether it's, as I say, little children, teenagers, young adults, living at home, not living at home, make them feel important. And then suddenly there's the doing. But in 3D paradigm, we have this craziness that says, well, they're not getting up and doing the thing for me. Well, am I making them feel important? Because our whole role in Mystery School was to uplift all the time. It's like there's nothing more pleasurable, empowering for me and them, and long-lasting than making them feel important. So as I arrive back today, it's the first time I've ever had a holiday in Egypt, because every time I come, I bring a group and I'm working long, long hours. And so this is a holiday. And my team, well, they picked me up and then they took me straight to their place for dinner and with all the family. And making them feel important, for me, I stay in contact with them, not just when I'm running events in Egypt, but I always check it. How's the family? I know every single child's name and age. I ask how they're going. They're on school holidays. It's 3 months. Does he like his soccer still? Is she going to have a party for the birthday? I know their birthday dates. So when they picked me up today and they took me back to their place for dinner, straight away, I had presents for them because I love giving presents. Jean means God's gracious gift, gifting, and I love to get gifts. I love to give gifts. But I got there and I was only thinking today, gosh, I really would love one of those dresses that I see. They bought me, I don't know whether you guys can see it, but they bought me 3 beautiful Egyptian outfits with incredible embroidery. Then the little 8-year-old made me a little necklace with bracelet, a little ring. Like all of it was all about me and making me feel important, but I was making them feel important as well. And that doing part, when I asked my team, oh, how much do I owe you for picking me up? Because they didn't have to pick me up. We organize pickups when people come to Egypt. But for me, I was happy to get an Uber or transport or whatever, because I know how to work it. However, for them, it was, no, we want to do it for you. We just want to do it for you. I went, oh my goodness me, how beautiful. So I'm just going to go back to people do more for you when you make them feel important. So me making them feel important, I gave gifts, they gave gifts. And they said, you know, you make us feel so important. You're part of the family now, which is such an honor, such an honor. So how are you going to take that into the work situation? Now, just so that you know, I've got the phone sitting up on a tissue box on a little bar fridge in my room, and there's doof like Egyptian music playing in the background. So I hope you guys can hear me, etc. And I've got the aircon on. That in the everyday life, how can you apply this? And in the work scenario, how can you apply it? Let's go with work. People do more for you when you make them feel important. I found the same thing when I would find out when I was nursing or doing pathology and autopsies. If I asked people's partners' names, their children's names, and made an effort to remember them and remember their dates of birth or their ages, or just checked in with them, they felt so important. So in the work situation, every time an order comes in and I need to post it through Australia Post, I know all of the staff at my local post office. So with all of the staff, I always say, "Hi, Matthew, how are you? How's your partner? Hey, Paul, do you wish it was holidays again? Chrissy, your earrings are amazing. Desiree, when's your next cruise holiday?" Because I've taken that effort to make them feel really important as they post all my clients' orders. They'll do things reciprocated back of people do more. Jean, buy this postage because it's actually cheaper and better for your clients. Or Jean, come through. Come on through. No one's here. Come on, we'll show you how to do whatever. So in that work scenario, making other people feel important is probably the biggest thing that we can actually do, especially in this 3D paradigm, because this is 5-dimensional, golden age, freedom of the mind, limitless dreams becoming a reality. But what happens is in the 3D awareness, it's, oh, that didn't do anything for me. In the everyday thing. So every day, today, as I caught the plane from Brisbane to Doha or Qatar, from there was a very large gentleman sitting next to him. Now, his word is, "I'm fat." I said, "What? These seats are small." And he was having problems pulling down the tray for his meal. So I just said to him, "Do you know what? These trays are small enough. I'll put mine to the side. You can put your tray on the side," because he was quite large and his tum-tum, the tray couldn't come down. He felt so important. He said, "Oh, thank you so much. I realize I'm fat and I really should take 2 seats." And I said, "No, it's okay. I just want you to be able to eat your meal." And because of that, when it was time to get the luggage from out the top, he said, "What's yours? Can I get it down?" So every day we can make someone feel important. Notice what they're wearing. Maybe they've got a beautiful smile. But it's not just people, it's also animals. Animals will tune into this energy as well. And how can you make an animal feel important? Acknowledge them. "Hello, magpie. Hello, kookaburra. Oh, look at that. There's a snake in my pool." Acknowledge them. And they feel the energy. And then the snake, it just comes out of the pool and slithers away. Or the kookaburra laughs even harder. Or the magpie comes up close and you can hand feed it. So it's not just people. It's people and animals will do more for you when you make them feel important. But how are we going to make them feel important? Well, that's where you get to decide. What do you want to notice about people? What do you want to see? What's important to you? For me, what's important is when I'm acknowledged. So I'm going to give you an example. Many, many years ago, when I was pregnant with my first son, he's 30 now, I was looking for a new car because the car I had was very, very old. It was my husband's grandfather had bed seat, column steering, and it really didn't sit the baby seat in it very well, but it was such a cute old car. And so when I went to buy the car, I had cash. We went to the car yard, and the car salesman directed all the conversation, not to me, but to my husband. And he didn't make me feel important at all. Not at all. My husband kept saying, "Yeah, but I'm not buying the car. Could you address it to my wife? My wife has questions." Well, I walked away. People do more for you when you make them feel important. Well, the doing part would have been, he would have got a great commission, me buying a car cash up front. Silly person. I like to treat people important the way I would like to be treated. Now, that's one of the 10 commandments. This is not about religion. This has been written many, many lifetimes about treat people the way you want to be treated. And so it might be listening. I love it when people stop and listen to me instead of being on their phone or checking their Fitbit or Apple Watch. I really appreciate, like today, when the meal was cooked, oh my gosh, the home cooked meal was so good. And the beautiful outfits and the little bracelet and necklace that little girl made for me. So I treat people the way I want to feel important to them. And it might be the tiny little things, such as the garbage going out. Or on Saturday, my older son said, Mum, you come home late from Egypt. And then Monday morning, you've got a 6 a.m. masterclass like we're doing now. So you'll get home about 10 o'clock at night and then 6 a.m. teaching. I'm going to go out and make sure you've got some coconut water so that you've got it ready when you come home. Because I don't drink a lot when I'm on the plane because I don't want to go back and forth to toilets. So people do more for you instead of animals when you make them feel important. It's actually from within to without, but we're taught from without to within. As above, so below, from within to without. That law is there for us, the law of attraction. So what could you be doing to help others feel more important? I want you just to take a moment and work out what makes you feel important. Is it listened to? Is it knowing your name? Is it spelling your name correctly? So that's something is a must. My team and I, you must spell the person's name correctly because that's really important. Must. You must get their address properly so that we can post the parcels. You must get their email so we can contact them. So what makes you feel important? Being listened to, having your name spoken properly, the little things like coconut water ready for you, taking the garbage out, making the bed. And you know, it's the tiny little things that annoy people. So I want you to think of something just for a moment. And now I want you to think of who are you going to make feel important today? Who could you make feel important today? Right now, today. So for me, I want to make sure that you guys feel important. As I said, I haven't been to bed yet since 4 o'clock yesterday morning, my time, which is probably 2 days because of backwards time, etc., etc. It's 11 o'clock at night that I'm doing this. I really do need sleep. Like on my bed here, my night is all ready. My shower's all ready as soon as I do this. But I wanted to make sure you guys felt important to continue all of this through winter time, which I've never done before, and whilst I'm on holidays in upside down time. Now, what could you do for me? Practice this. That's the doing part. Practice it so that you feel important. And then let's make it a ripple effect, like a wave of love to everybody else. Imagine the world. Oh my goodness. Instead of it being the ego mind of I, imagine the we. So I'm going to get you all to share what was the golden heart for today. Remember, with Mystery School Masterclasses, so it's not just about me sharing, it's your sharing as well. What did you get from today? It was a golden heart that dropped into your mind or your heart. I'm just going to move the phone so that I can actually see the messages, especially if you're typing the messages. And I'm going to start with Julie. It fascinates me that when I was all rugged up and mask gloved and COVID-y, I could walk through a cloud of people, distancing, both in small country town and now in Brislogan, and very few centimeters of skin exposed. I was still getting massive connection to all, recognition, acknowledgement, surprise from them, and me that we're still connecting, and sometimes feeling like death warmed up. I felt better, and so did they. Thank you so much, Julie, for sharing. Thank you. Let's go to Lou, Leona, Julie. Oh, Julie, we've done. Lou, Leona, and Kim. Oh, thank you, Lou. Lou's got making others feel important. Oops, let's go back and read it again. Making others feel important can make you feel important too. Absolutely. Yes, you so got it, Lou. So got it. When we make others feel important, it's actually a ripple effect. It's like this bounce back. Just like with my team, I was making them feel important, but they were doing it behind their secretly behind my back as well. So Leona.
Hello, everybody. I suppose my golden heart today is, what is the other person's love language? Like, what do they want, particularly my hubby?
There you go. Perfect. And love language is really important. There's 5 love languages. Hence why I mentioned about my son, older son. He's a star child, and that's my personality typing. And his love language is being heard and quality time. So I do that. So beautiful, Leona. Beautiful, beautiful. Lou, I'll just go back to yours. Yes, they are. Thank you so much, Lou. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank you, darling. Let's go to Kim.
Yeah. Mine was about remembering to acknowledge animals.
Animals. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Very much. Now, part of the reason I'm here is a holiday, but I'm also doing some philanthropy work and some volunteering on the horses, donkeys, and dogs and things. And even just acknowledging the dogs when they're all wild and woolly and scruffy and eating scraps and whatever. And as I was walking the streets a little bit today, I'm just acknowledging them. It was like, oh my God, they came up for a pat. Absolutely. I'm going to give them lots of love. Starting tomorrow, bigger love. I just need to rest today. So definitely, Kim, definitely. Let's go to Andrew and Sharon.
Good morning. Yes. Today, for me, yes, I use an acknowledgement system with the children where I teach at the schools, and
Yes.
so I call the Shooting Star. And the last 2 weeks here in just outside Kingaroy and in Young, I've given them little packs to go home and acknowledge, and they've just come back and they tell me all the stories of who they've given it to in their families and how it made them feel and the other person feel. And so that's one way, and that's just particular qualities. But I want to question myself of what other ways can I acknowledge children, rather than just the qualities that the Shooting Star gives, but what other ways, whether it's a name remembered or whether it's another action other than the Shooting Star. So thanks for that reminder.
Beautiful, Andrew. Andrew does amazing work as a school teacher, and making the children feel super, super important. So thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that. And Sharon, she's got the recognition what is important for others. Love this reminder. My pleasure. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Now, I've got someone that says Samsung, so I'm not sure who you are, but you're more than welcome to unmute yourself or type a message of what was your golden heart for today, which is just saying, what was the biggest learning for today?
Hi, Dean, it's Sandra. I just zoomed in on my
Sandra.
phone, so that's why it's not coming up with my name.
That's okay.
I seem to, I give my love to my clients with a little gift of heart when they book in a session with me. So I always retrieve that gift, and I always seem to do a lot for everyone else because I can if I'm not working. So I do just the general house cleaning, washing for that person while that person's working, doing all those things, even though I don't need to. So, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful, Sandy. Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you. Do you know, you guys have already got this. Those that are on live or the recording, you already know this. Maybe the reminder, as Kim said, is animals. And maybe the reminder is also yourselves. What makes you feel important? Because sometimes in the law of attraction, when we recognize what makes us feel important, it's like, I'm already doing that for others. It's then a reciprocal, like a fling back where you get to receive it. And maybe it's about boundary setting, because July is the energy of boundaries. And it's like, maybe I need to set some boundaries of that doesn't make me feel important, but that does. And because that does, maybe I'm going to say something. So remember, people do more for you when you make them feel important. Now, this is really important. when people don't acknowledge it, or they just take it, or you open the door and they don't say anything. Don't take it personally. Just know that somewhere they might be still in a lot of pain and not noticed, but somewhere they might ripple effect and they might open a door for somebody else or say thank you to somebody else. So my mission is always contact 3 people every day, someone I know, and then 2 strangers, make them feel important, whether it's a love letter, a gift, a Facebook message. I don't text, so please don't text me anyone, or something, a phone call or an email, just to make them feel important. The biggest healing thing ever. So thank you, everyone, especially, as I said, for joining me in the dark and cold in the Southern Hemisphere. Scorching hot here, which I'm just loving. And I'm on holidays, but also doing some philanthropy work and a few other little bits and pieces ready for the next group, September, October. And I will see you again from Egypt next Monday. So have a fabulous week practicing. Lots of love, everyone. Bye.